Maria und welcome zu die Lancaster County Amish Bauerei. Come see how we make good Swiss cheese ones. The original Lancaster County Swiss Cheese Company was built on this present site in 1933 by a cooperative of Amish and Mennonite farmers. They had no way to transport their milk to the larger dairies for bottling, so they built this cheese plant here in the country. Each day the factory would use about 3,000 gallons of milk from local farms. Early in the morning, milk was pumped into the same copper kettles used in early cheese making. Each kettle is designed to hold about 300 gallons of milk, enough to produce about a 200-pound block of cheese. Copper was one of the first metals used for food preparation utensils. Today, stainless steel has replaced copper in most areas, but cheese made in copper kettles has a distinct, better flavor. Copper enhances the sweet, nutty, metallic flavor of Swiss cheese. Three bacteria cultures are added and the milk is heated to 92 degrees Fahrenheit, using steam through the double copper walls of each kettle. These starter cultures are responsible for the flavor, body, and texture of the cheese, and later it also causes the holes. After about an hour, rennet is added to coagulate the milk. It takes about 30 minutes for the mixture to reach the right firmness. Using an old-fashioned curd knife, the mixture is then cut. The cutting continues until pieces are the size of grains of rice. The cut curd is heated to 122 degrees Fahrenheit until it reaches the right consistency. cheesemaker tests the curd to see if it is dry enough to be dipped. Grabbing a handful of curd and squeezing out the whey, he will break it into 2 pieces. When the curd is the proper consistency, the curd is removed from the kettle using a special cheesecloth. The 200 pounds of curd is then placed into a square box. The curd is pressed. Then turned and pressed again. The curd then remains in the block under pressure overnight. Although the cheese wheel is very impressive, it requires much more work to produce and is very difficult to handle. The next morning, the cheese block is moved into the salt brine tank. Here, they are soaked for 24 to 48 hours to build a protective rind on the cheese. The cheese is removed from the salt brine and allowed to dry in the cold room for a few days. The dry blocks are then put into plastic bags and moved into the warm cellar. Placed on racks in the aging cellar, the cheese is kept at 72 degrees for about 6 weeks. In the warm cellar, the culture produces the flavor and holes characteristic of Swiss cheese. The cheesemaker plugs the cheese to test for texture, smell, and make sure the holes have formed nicely. Oh no, we have to put the plug back though. Oh, was ein guter Piece of Käse. Finished cheese are moved into the cold cellar, where they are allowed to further age. finished cheese are prepared for shipment in the packaging room. This factory produced about 12,000 pounds of cheese in a week. Why not take some home for your table? We hope you enjoy your visit to Phillips Lancaster County Swiss Cheese Company. Danke für Kummer und Kummer wieder.